There is a page in a buried gospel where Jesus does something recorded nowhere else in any scripture on earth. He rehearses a student. Not a parable, not a sermon, a drill. In the text, he takes one disciple aside, James, and he walks him through a series of questions and the exact answers to give, the way a father drills a child on the route home before sending him through a dangerous country. They will stop you, he says, in effect. They will ask you this, and you will answer them this. Stop and feel the weight of that. Heaven, rehearsing answers with a human being because the road home has checkpoints, and the keepers of those checkpoints ask questions. And here is why this matters to you tonight, friend of the light. If your life since the awakening began has felt like an interrogation, the doubt that arrives at 3 a.m. with your own voice, the rooms that go cold when your faith enters them, the seasons where everything you build stalls at some invisible barrier, the texts have one stunning thing to tell you about all of it. Those are not interruptions of your road, they are the road. 3 checkpoints. Tonight you get the route and the answers. The third one is a seal that cannot be forged. Stay for the third. If this is your first vigil here, these come from the Gospels buried at Nag Hammadi in 1945, the books written out of your Bible 17 centuries ago, where Sophia wisdom herself and her teaching survived the editors. Tonight we open one of the strangest of them. And the proof, as always in these vigils, is checkable tonight. The book is called The First Apocalypse of James. It was found in the Nag Hammadi jar in 1945, Codex 5, photographed and published. And in 2017, scholars at Oxford made an announcement that put it in the world's newspapers. They had identified fragments of this same gospel in the original Greek, among the earliest copies of any Christian text in their collection. Type First Apocalypse of James Oxford 2017 and read the coverage yourself. A banned gospel, surviving in 2 independent streams 16 centuries apart. Whatever is in this book, somebody very much wanted it to reach you. What is in it? The old teachers described the territory between this world and the light as a guarded road, stations, keepers. The texts call them detainers, powers whose whole office is to stop traffic and ask questions. Now before you picture gates in the clouds, hear how the teachers said it works for the living. For us, the checkpoints do not wear robes, they wear circumstances. The keeper's question arrives dressed as your own midnight doubt. Who do you think you are? It arrives at a family table, in a tone. Are you still on about that? It arrives as a whole season of your life, where the road simply holds. Nothing moves. Everything waits. You thought those were breakdowns. They are toll booths, and the difference matters infinitely because a breakdown means something is wrong with the traveler. A toll booth means the traveler is on a road that leads somewhere and has just reached the border of the next territory. That reframe alone changes the taste of your hardest seasons. And if it just did, leave 2 words in the comments below. I'm listening, not for me, for the road. The comments under a vigil are footprints. The ones a few miles behind you will see them in the dark and keep walking. Your 2 words may be the reason a stranger makes the 3rd checkpoint. And if you want the full route, not just tonight's 3 stations, that is what the ancient code is. The complete map of the territory, 5 private masterclasses, the printed dossier in your hands, and the meditation series that trains the crossings. The doorway is in the description below this vigil. The road will still be there when you walk through it. But first you need to know one thing about the keepers themselves, because the texts are very precise about what they can and cannot do. The keepers cannot create. That is the whole secret of them, stated plainly in the old books. They can only delay, divert, and imitate. They build nothing. They light nothing. Their one talent is the question pressed into a traveler until the traveler turns back. And their masterpiece of imitation, the texts say, is a voice. A counterfeit voice that learns your accent so perfectly that its questions feel like your own thoughts. Who do you think you are never arrives sounding like an enemy. It arrives sounding like you at 3 a.m. when the house is dark and the border is close. Now mark the pattern in your own history, because I suspect you will find it. The interrogations cluster at the thresholds, before the new beginning, not after it. At the edge of the breakthrough, not in the flat middle years. The Pistis Sophia records the same geometry in her ascent. The assaults came hardest precisely as she climbed, station after station, toward the light. Toll booths cluster at borders, friend, not in the interior. If you are being questioned hard right now, check your map. You are probably closer to a crossing than you have ever been. And now, stop and turn the entire thing around, because here is the hinge of tonight's vigil. Who gets questioned at a checkpoint? Not the residents, not the settled, not the souls who never left the province they were born in. The keepers do not waste one syllable on a man who is going nowhere. No one stamps the passport of someone who never travels. The interrogation you have been suffering, the midnight voice, the cold rooms, the stalled seasons, you have been reading it your whole life as evidence that something is wrong with you. Read it as a border official reads it. Questioning is the receipt of motion. They only stop what is moving. They only test what is in transit. They only detain what is visibly on its way out of their territory. You are not failing the road. You are far enough along it to have reached the guarded part. And this is the moment every letter I receive confirms it, when a traveler stops wanting comfort and starts wanting equipment. The ancient code is the equipment, the full teachings opened line by line, the dossier, the practices for every crossing. The link is below, and it will still be there when the vigil ends. But borders, I have found, do not like to be kept waiting. So, the 3 checkpoints and the 3 answers from the rehearsal. The first checkpoint is origin. The question in all its costumes is, where are you from? Meaning, by what authority do you shine? Who issued you? At the midnight hour, it sounds like, who do you think you are? At the table, it sounds like, where did you get these ideas? And the rehearsed answer from the buried gospel is a single unanswerable line. I am from the light that lit itself. The light that lit itself. Your spark was not issued by an institution, a family, a marriage, or a diploma, so none of them holds the authority to recall it. Practice it the old way. At the first stirring of the question, you do not argue. Arguing pays the toll in the wrong currency. You answer once. Inwardly, I am from the light that lit itself, and you keep walking. The texts are emphatic on this. The keepers are starved by brevity. The second checkpoint is belonging. The question sharpens. And who are you, exactly? You with the unfinished life, the unanswered prayers, the awakening that came so late. The keeper's whole hope at this station is to make you negotiate, to make you list qualifications. Travelers who start listing qualifications never stop. The rehearsed answer refuses the negotiation entirely. I am a child of the living one, not an applicant, not a candidate under review. A child in childhood is not a rank you earn, but a fact you carry. The counterfeit voice has no reply to a settled identity, because imitation requires doubt the way fire requires air. Close the doubt, and the cleverest voice at the border falls silent mid-sentence. Mourning for the first answer, before your feet touch the floor. Friction for the second, the table, the phone call, the mirror. 6 seconds each. This is not theology, friend of the light. It is border paperwork, and yours has been stamped since before the mountains. One thing before the third checkpoint, the seal. Answers memorized tonight will be gone by Friday. Answers breathed are there at 3 in the morning. That is why the ancient code includes the complete meditation series alongside the master classes and the dossier. It is the breathing. If you have been collecting knowledge for years and still arrive at the border empty-handed, the description below is where the training lives. The third checkpoint has no question of words. The texts say that at the last station, the keepers ask for the one thing that cannot be spoken, only shown. The sign, the seal. Prove the light is really yours. And the rehearsal gives the strangest, most beautiful answer in all the buried gospels. The sign of the true ones, it says, is this: motion and rest. Both at once. A life that moves, hands that work, feet that walk, love that acts, wrapped around a heart that is not running from anything, stillness in the stride, peace that travels. Think of what the keepers can forge. They forge urgency flawlessly, They forge fear, outrage, frenzy, even ecstasy. Every counterfeit they have ever minted is either frantic or frozen. The one alloy they cannot pour is calm in motion because it is the signature of the source itself, and forgers cannot sign a name they have never seen. So the third crossing is not passed by saying anything, it is passed by the way you walk. The day your shine stops needing to argue, defend, or hurry, the day you simply travel lit, the last border opens on its own. Checkpoints hold travelers, friend. They have no authority over arrivals. And now the last thing, the thing about the rehearsal itself that undid me when I finally saw it. You do not rehearse the route home with someone you expect to lose on the road. You do not drill answers, station by station, into a child you plan to abandon at the second border. The rehearsal, the mere existence of that page in that jar, is heaven's confidence written down. He expected James to make it. The texts expect you to make it. The answers were never a test you might fail. They were a promise you would arrive. If tonight handed you your papers, do not let them end as a video you once watched. The ancient code is the whole route in your hands. 5 master classes opening the texts, the printed dossier, the meditation series that trains every crossing, not another fragment. The route. The doorway is below this vigil, and it is open tonight. Before the screen goes dark, your practice for the week, and it is 6 seconds long. The question will come. It always comes midnight, table, or mirror, and when it does, you will not argue. You will answer once, inwardly, the rehearsed way. I am from the light that lit itself, and keep walking. That is the whole practice. Borders open for the brief. And if you traveled all 3 checkpoints with me tonight, leave 3 words below for the one still at the first. I kept watch. Someone is stalled at a border right now, deciding whether the road is real. Your 3 words are a stamped passport lying in their path. One more vigil is already prepared, because the texts say something sobering about the ones who pass the checkpoints, the territory notices. And the sharpest resistance, they warn, comes from the strangest direction, from your own table, your own blood. Why the dreamer is always hated first at home. That is where we go next. If this vigil found you mid-journey, subscribe to OmniSoul so the next one finds you further down the road. Travelers get questioned, residents get forgotten. Be questioned, friend, and keep watch.